It's weird how some woodworkers will fight to the death over whether a router or a table saw is the best tool for cutting joinery such as dados and grooves. If you don't know what I'm talking about, dados and grooves are used to create strong joints. You see them a lot in bookshelves and cabinets and other furniture. Cutting these joints with the table saw requires a stack of special blades with lots of spinning teeth, while cutting them with a router requires a single spinning bit, either mounted pointing upward in a router table or pointing downward in a handheld router. Which one of these methods seems to make more sense to you? Which one scares you the most? Let's compare and see if we can settle this once and for all. A router bit is faster and easier to install because it's just one bit compared to several blades and chippers in a table saw dado set. It does take a bit more fiddling to set up an edge guide if you're using your router handheld, especially if you have to calculate an offset for half the width of the router base. But adjusting the fence on a router table is pretty much as easy as adjusting one on a table saw. However, many router dados have to be cut in 2 passes, requiring extra fence adjustments. I'll explain why in a minute. But because of this, I'm calling this category a tie. Dado sets are pretty much infinitely adjustable. Whatever the thickness of your material, you can customize your stack to cut a precisely sized dado in a single pass over a table saw. But a router bit is not adjustable. And it's not always easy to find a bit specifically sized to your material. Take plywood, for example. Nowadays, it's usually metric or measured in 30 seconds or some such nonsense. And while you can buy specially sized plywood bits, there's no guarantee they will match your plywood because that's often inconsistent. This can be a problem with solid wood too. So if you want your dados and your grooves to fit properly, you're likely to have to make 2 passes with a router bit, adding extra setup and chances for error. The table saw then is the clear winner here. A table saw is a powerful tool, and all those spinning teeth tend to make some people nervous. Some countries have even banned dado sets, or at least made it very difficult to use them. It's true, these things are powerful. They can eat your fingers if you aren't careful. And the nature of a dado set makes it all but impossible to use them without removing essential safety gear like blade guards and splitters. But don't fool yourself into thinking a router is an entirely safe option. These are typically used without guards as well, and there's no sewing back on what they rip off. But the rotary motion of a router bit is less likely to cause a workpiece to bind and kick back at you compared to a table saw blade, which is cutting toward your body. I'm not saying router tables can't kick back, but it's less likely to happen. So, score another point for the router. You may not be able to move your router table fence away from the bit far enough to cut a dado near the center of a large panel. A table saw fence, on the other hand, has a lot more capacity, unless you're using a small portable saw, but those don't always accept dado bits anyway. Of course, neither a table saw nor a router table can provide unlimited capacity, but a handheld router and an edge guide can. I've cut huge work pieces this way. It's loud and messy, but it gets the job done. So again, the router comes in on top. If you're comparing apples to apples, meaning a good quality router bit with a good quality dado set, both being sharp and clean, the quality of the cut should be pretty similar. Both can result in some chip out, especially when cutting across the grain, but there are methods to reduce that risk. However, in my experience, that quality changes as the tool dulls. And router bits dull way faster than dado sets. It's not even close. Because while a dado set has many carbide teeth to share the work, a router bit usually has just a couple cutters. Plywood's especially hard on router bits. There is really just a brief window of use when a router bit can deliver a cut comparable to a dado set. So I'm giving this win to the table saw. I'm not comparing the cost of the table saw to the cost of the router table because this is about cutting dados and grooves. So our focus is on the specific tooling needed for that. And you can buy cheap junk if you want, but I believe in the philosophy of buy once, cry once. So a good dado set will run you $200 to $300, maybe even more. They aren't cheap. Good straight router bits cost about $20 to $30 each, more if you go with spiral bits. That seems a lot cheaper, but remember, you need more than one size. At least quarter, half, and 3/4, plus the undersized plywood equivalents if you make any cabinets. It's about $150 just for the basics, let alone the virtually infinite widths a table saw dado set can cut. And you're going to have to replace those router bits many times before you wear out a dado set. So it might seem like a dado set is pricey, but when you do the actual math, The clear cost winner, especially in the long run, is the table saw dado set. So let's add it up. The router method got 1 point for setup, 1 for safety, and 1 for cutting capacity. That's 3. The table saw method also scored 1 for setup, plus 1 for adjustability, another for quality of cut, and a 4th for the overall cost. Does that mean the table saw wins? Not so fast. We also have to factor in personal preference. And personally, I like the router table for cutting 1 or 2 dados in small or medium work pieces when I have a bit that matches the material thickness. It's just a lot more convenient. But I prefer the table saw when I'm making multiple cuts in medium to large size panels, such as making cabinets. And I like the handheld router and an edge guide for extra large panels or for narrow longboards, such as the sides of bookshelves. I think it comes down to choosing which best suits your style and the task at hand. I'd love it if you tell me in the comments below which method you prefer. But first, check this out. The Whiteside family has been making router bits in North Carolina for half a century. Their quality is exceptional, their service is fantastic, and I like supporting small family businesses. That's why my cabinet is full of Whiteside bits, and I think yours should be too. Check them out at the link below this video.